In this video, we're going to be thinking about part 2 of the IELTS speaking test. And we'll be thinking about how you should plan your answers for this part of the test. Now, if you don't already know, in part 2 of the speaking test, the examiner will give you a topic card. It looks a bit like this. In fact, this is the one that we'll be looking at in this video. Now, they'll give you this topic card and they'll ask you to speak for between 1 and 2 minutes on this topic. And they will also give you 1 minute to prepare your answer. This is not a lot of time, but you need to know how to use this time effectively to plan a good response. And this is what we're going to be thinking about, planning your response when you're in the test. Now, of course, a lot of preparation can be done before the test, so you can come up with ideas quickly when you're in that 1 minute. It's not an easy thing to do, but the more you practice and the more you prepare, the better you can do. Now, the main thing is when you're using this 1 minute preparation time, you're writing down some ideas. Most of the time when I have students who struggle with this part of the test, they usually struggle with fluency and filling the whole 2 minutes with speaking. And the reason why they stop speaking or get stuck is because they run out of ideas. So you need to make sure you write down enough ideas in that 1 minute to keep speaking for the full 2 minutes. Now let's have a look at this topic card that I showed you. The topic card asks us to describe something healthy we enjoy doing. So when you get this topic card, you must look and think quickly and come up with an idea to fit that topic card. Now, let's think about some ideas that we could come up with for something healthy that I enjoy doing. We need to go through this topic card step by step. You'll see that there are 4 cues. Basically, what we need to do is go through these 4 separate cues and come up with an idea or two for each of those individual cues. So let's do it together now. Now, the first cue you can see there, it says what you do. So straight away, we need to write down these keywords or key ideas. Now, for me, it's swimming. So I've written down the topic, and of course I'm going to have to expand on that and give detail, but the idea is there, swimming. I also might want to mention how often I do it too, so maybe 2 times a week. So we've got those 2 ideas there, and we can expand on that when we're speaking. Then I need to go on to the next cue, which is where you do it. Now, I need to write down an idea or 2 ideas about the place which I do it. Now, for me, this is actually 2 places. So it's the local public pool and also a gym. And I can go into more detail on that when I'm speaking. But I've got 2 ideas there. I could even go into a bit more detail and mention the more specific place, which is the lane in the swimming pool. So the local public pool, the gym, and the specific lane. So there we go. So we've gone through 2 of those cues already, but we can't forget to go through the 3rd and the 4th cue as well. We need enough ideas, remember, to keep speaking for that full 2 minutes. So the 3rd cue, who you do it with. Now, this is not a team sport. So of course, who you do it with, I would just write down 1 keyword, alone. I do it alone, by myself. So writing down that keyword, alone, and maybe mention that sometimes I have to share the lanes. So writing down those keywords, share the lanes. So there we go. So that's just the idea to follow that cue. And then I've got to the final cue, which is the 4th one. Explain why you think doing this is healthy. Now, I've got to come up with a couple of reasons here, but write down my key ideas. So first one, it's a all over body workout. It's one idea. And maybe also mention it's good for the mind as well as the body. So good for the mind. I'm not writing down full sentences here. But of course, when I'm speaking and giving the response, I will give full sentences and speak fluently for 2 whole minutes. Now here we have some different ideas to fit each of those 4 cues. And this is what you're going to need to do with any topic card that you get, writing down these key ideas. No more than that. 1 minute is not a long time. Obviously, before you go into the exam and you're preparing, you can spend longer preparing for these tasks. But when you're in the exam, you've got to make sure that you're just writing down your key ideas. And maybe if you have enough time, you can write down a few keywords or specific vocabulary that you really want to use when you're covering these different cues. And when we're speaking and giving our full response, we work through the cues in this order. And it's fine to look down at your notes when you're speaking and then look back up and speak to the examiner when you're speaking in that 2 minutes. This way, if you have enough ideas, you can keep speaking and you'll show the examiner enough to get the score you deserve. If you run out of ideas, you're going to stop speaking and not get the score that you deserve in this part of the test. Now, of course, you don't have to complete all 4 cues. It's okay if you only talk about 2 or 3 of them, but we should always aim to cover all 4 of the cues. It's worth practicing and limiting yourself to 1 minute to prepare for these different topic cards. What I'll be doing in the next speaking video is showing you an example answer for this topic card. The answer I'll be showing you is a Band 9 level answer. But of course that's going to be in the next video, not this video. Maybe you could also think about the way you would respond to this topic card yourself and go through the 4 cues yourself and write down your key ideas for each of the cues. So that's it. I hope this video was useful to you and now you have a bit of a better idea about how to plan when you get these topic cards in part 2 of the IELTS speaking test. And in the next video, of course, I'm going to give you a nice example of a really high-level answer and we'll analyze some of the vocabulary I'm using in the answer. But for this video, it was really just thinking about coming up with ideas quickly for these part 2 tasks. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.